What if I told you that everything in life exists in pairs? That success cannot exist without failure, happiness without sadness, or light without darkness? This is the hidden force shaping our reality, the law of polarity. It explains why opposites are not enemies, but necessary counterparts, each giving meaning to the other. But how does this law influence your thoughts, emotions, and life decisions? And more importantly, how can understanding it help you unlock your true potential? In this video, we'll uncover the secrets of the law of polarity and how you can use it to transform your life. Every action you take, every decision you make, and even every thought that crosses your mind is shaping your future. But what if I told you that nothing in your life is random? What if every situation, whether good or bad, is simply the result of past causes? This is the fundamental truth behind the law of cause and effect, a universal principle that governs everything from the smallest moments in our lives to the grand cycles of the universe. This law, often misunderstood, is more than just the idea of karma. It is the cosmic mechanism that connects your past, present, and future. It dictates that for every effect you experience in life, whether success, failure, happiness, or struggle, there was a cause that set it in motion. Just like a ripple effect, your actions, thoughts, and emotions radiate outward, shaping the reality around you. But here's where the mystery deepens. If this law is absolute, why do some people seem to escape the consequences of their actions while others suffer without reason? Why does life sometimes seem unfair? The answer lies in understanding the hidden forces at play, forces that ancient wisdom, modern science, and spiritual traditions have explored for centuries. In this video, we will uncover the hidden mechanics of cause and effect, diving deep into its origins, its connection to karma, and how it shapes your destiny. By the end, you will not only understand how this law works, but also how you can use it to transform your life, to break free from negative cycles, and consciously create the future you desire. The law of cause and effect is one of the oldest spiritual principles known to humanity. Its roots can be traced back to ancient Eastern philosophies, mystical traditions, and religious teachings that sought to explain why things happen the way they do. Across cultures, this concept was often referred to as karma, divine justice, or the principle of cosmic balance. Hinduism and Buddhism, the foundation of karma. In Hinduism and Buddhism, karma is the fundamental law of existence. The Sanskrit word karma literally means action, but in spiritual terms, it refers to the idea that every action produces a reaction. This means that our present circumstances are shaped by our past actions, whether in this life or previous incarnations. Hindu texts like the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads explain karma as a process that extends beyond just one lifetime. They describe how a person's actions, good or bad, accumulate over time, influencing their future experiences and even their rebirth. In Buddhism, karma is closely tied to the idea of samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. The Buddha taught that by understanding and mastering karma, one can break free from this cycle and achieve nirvana, a state of enlightenment and liberation. What makes karma so powerful is that it does not operate based on human morality. It is simply the law of consequence. Whether someone believes in it or not, it continues to function, much like the law of gravity. Hermeticism and the Kybalion, the mystic's perspective. Moving from the East to the ancient Western traditions, we find a similar principle in Hermeticism, a school of thought derived from the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus. One of the 7 Hermetic laws states, "Every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause." This idea was further explored in the Kybalion, a mystical text that explains how the universe operates in perfect balance. Hermetic teachings suggest that everything is interconnected, and nothing happens by chance. Every event in your life, every opportunity or misfortune, is the result of past causes. even those that may seem insignificant at the time. These teachings propose that by becoming aware of this principle, we can begin to control our destiny. Instead of being passive victims of circumstances, we can deliberately create positive causes, ensuring that the effects align with our desires. Religious perspectives. The law in Christianity and Islam. The law of cause and effect is not just a mystical or philosophical idea, it is also embedded in major religious traditions. In Christianity, the Bible teaches, "Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows." Galatians 6:7. This verse is a clear expression of cause and effect. Your actions determine the outcomes you experience. Similarly, Jesus' teachings in the New Testament emphasize that kindness, forgiveness, and love lead to blessings, while greed, hatred, and selfishness bring suffering. In Islam, a similar concept is present in the idea of qadr, or divine justice. The Quran frequently mentions that everything happens for a reason and that people are responsible for the consequences of their deeds. The principle of balance in Islam aligns closely with karma. Good deeds are rewarded and negative actions bring hardships, either in this life or the afterlife. Sufi mystics further expand on this by teaching that spiritual awakening comes from understanding these cycles and living in harmony with them. The universal truth. No matter where we look, whether in ancient scriptures, mystical traditions, or religious texts, the same message appears. Everything we do creates an effect. The universe does not operate on randomness. It follows laws, just like the physical world does. The reason this law is so powerful is that it removes the idea of luck or fate being outside our control. Instead, it empowers us with the realization that we are responsible for our own lives. If we create negative causes through harmful actions, thoughts, or intentions, we will inevitably experience negative effects. But if we cultivate positivity, wisdom, and conscious decision-making, we can transform our reality. So the real question is, how do we start using this knowledge to our advantage? The law of cause and effect is not just a spiritual concept. It is deeply rooted in the very fabric of reality. Science, psychology, and physics all point toward the undeniable truth that everything is interconnected. Every action has a reaction. Every thought influences reality, and every decision creates a chain of effects that ripple across time and space. But how does this actually work? Let's break it down from three critical perspectives: classical physics, quantum mechanics, and human psychology. Newton's third law, the physical manifestation of cause and effect. One of the most well-known scientific principles that supports the law of cause and effect is Newton's third law, which states, "For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction." At its core, this law explains that nothing in the universe happens in isolation. Every force that is applied creates an equal and opposite force in return. This is why when you push against a wall, the wall pushes back. If you throw a stone into a lake, ripples spread outwards, creating an effect far beyond the initial splash. Now, if this law governs the physical world, could it also apply to the non-physical aspects of existence? Many spiritual and philosophical traditions suggest that energy, emotions, and even thoughts work in a similar way. Every action, word, or even internal belief emits a form of energy into the universe, which must eventually return to its source in some way. How Newton's law applies to energy and consciousness. Consider how emotions influence people. If you radiate positivity, kindness, gratitude, and love, you create a ripple effect. People around you feel this energy and reflect it back. The same happens with negativity. Anger, hatred, and resentment tend to return in kind. The more awareness we bring to our actions and thoughts, the more we can directly shape the kind of reactions we receive from the world. This is why ancient wisdom always emphasizes mindfulness and conscious intention, because the energy we put out must always return. But if Newton's law governs the physical world, there is another field of science that takes this concept even deeper: quantum physics. Quantum physics, the observer effect, and the power of intentions. In classical physics, objects exist independently, whether they are being observed or not. But in the world of quantum mechanics, things get far stranger. One of the most mind-bending discoveries in physics is the observer effect, the idea that the very act of observing something changes its behavior. This was proven in the double-slit experiment, where light particles, photons, behaved differently depending on whether they were being observed. In simple terms, our consciousness actively influences reality. If this is true on the smallest, most fundamental levels of reality, then the implications are staggering. It means that what we focus on, our thoughts, beliefs, and intentions, shapes the world around us. How your thoughts create reality. This aligns perfectly with the law of cause and effect. If thoughts carry energy and energy affects reality, then the quality of our thoughts determines the effects we experience in life. Negative thought patterns. If someone constantly dwells on failure, fear, or self-doubt, they are more likely to experience circumstances that validate those beliefs. Positive thought patterns. If someone envisions success, growth, and happiness, they create a mindset that attracts opportunities, solutions, and positive experiences. This is not just wishful thinking. Scientific studies in neuroscience show that neural pathways in the brain strengthen with repeated thought patterns, creating a self-fulfilling cycle. This leads us to another crucial perspective: psychology. Psychological perspective, the cycle of cause and effect in human behavior. Our thoughts shape our actions, and our actions shape our destiny. This is why understanding cause and effect from a psychological standpoint is so important. Many people feel like they are stuck in repetitive patterns, whether in relationships, financial struggles, or personal failures. The reason? They are unknowingly caught in cycles created by past thoughts and behaviors. The habit loop: how small causes create lifelong effects. Psychologists have discovered that our brains function on habit loops, cycles of action and reinforcement that become deeply ingrained over time. A thought triggers an emotion, that emotion leads to an action. The action produces an outcome, that outcome reinforces the original thought. For example, a person believes they are unworthy of success. They hesitate to take action. They fail or miss opportunities. This proves they were unworthy. The cycle repeats, but this also works in positive cycles. A person believes they can achieve something. They take action. They see success. The belief strengthens. The cycle continues. Understanding these cycles allows us to break free from negative cause and effect loops and create intentional positive patterns instead. Many people resist the idea of cause and effect because life often seems unfair. Why do bad things happen to good people? Why do some people succeed effortlessly while others struggle? The answer lies in the illusion of randomness. Why do some things seem unfair? From our limited perspective, events may appear random, but that does not mean they are. The law of cause and effect does not always operate on human timelines. Some effects take days, months, or even lifetimes to manifest. In many cases, people are experiencing the consequences of past actions, some of which may be from long ago. This is why karma in Hinduism and Buddhism extends beyond a single lifetime. If an effect does not seem connected to a clear cause, it may be the result of something outside our immediate awareness. For example, a person who is always dishonest eventually loses the trust of others. A person who gives generously finds unexpected blessings in return. These patterns may take years to develop, which is why many people fail to connect the dots between their past actions and current circumstances. Society's role in hiding. This truth. Modern society often disconnects people from the truth of cause and effect. Here's how. 1. Instant gratification versus long-term consequences. We live in an age of instant gratification, fast food, social media, and immediate entertainment. This conditions people to expect instant rewards while ignoring long-term effects. People chase quick pleasure, but ignore the long-term consequences. Many avoid delayed gratification, even though it leads to true success and fulfillment. This leads to impulsive decisions and unawareness of the greater effects of one's actions. 2. Modern distractions. Keep people unaware. The world today is filled with distractions, entertainment, news, social media, and endless noise. These distractions keep people from reflecting on their actions and their consequences. Instead of taking time to observe patterns in their own life, people remain stuck in cycles without ever questioning, why do I keep attracting the same situations? What patterns am I repeating unconsciously? The more distracted a person is, the less they notice the deeper patterns of cause and effect. Breaking free from the illusion. The key to understanding cause and effect is awareness. When we start paying attention to our thoughts, behaviors, and life patterns, we begin to see the invisible connections that were always there. The law of cause and effect is always working, whether we acknowledge it or not. The real power comes when we start using it intentionally. Instead of reacting to life blindly, we can become conscious creators of our destiny. The law of cause and effect is not just a cosmic principle, it directly influences every aspect of your life. Whether you are aware of it or not, your thoughts, emotions, and actions create the reality you experience. This section will explore how this law affects your personal reality, relationships, and overall transformation. Your actions shape your reality. Your present life is the result of your past choices. At this very moment, your current circumstances, your relationships, career, health, and personal happiness are all the results of past decisions. Nothing is accidental. Even if some situations feel random or unfair, they are deeply connected to past causes, whether personal or external. But here's the empowering truth. If your present is shaped by past actions, it means your future will be shaped by the choices you make today. How conscious decision-making changes your future. Every small action contributes to a larger outcome. If you make unconscious choices, reacting emotionally, following bad habits, or avoiding responsibility, you will continue attracting negative consequences. On the other hand, conscious decision-making allows you to direct the course of your life with intention. This means becoming aware of your habits, replacing destructive cycles with constructive ones, aligning actions with long-term goals, avoiding short-term pleasures that lead to regret, taking full responsibility, understanding that blaming external factors keeps you trapped. If you change your thoughts, you change your actions. If you change your actions, you change your future. Relationships and energy exchange. Every interaction with another person is an exchange of energy. This is why some people make you feel uplifted, while others drain you completely. This is also why relationships can either empower or destroy your emotional and mental state. The impact of positive and negative energy on others. When you give love and respect, you cultivate deep, meaningful relationships. When you hold on to anger, resentment, or dishonesty, those negative energies come back to you. This is why toxic relationships often seem to repeat patterns. They are a reflection of unresolved emotional energy. Solution? If you consciously choose compassion, patience, and authenticity, you begin attracting people who reflect the same values. Relationships that are built on genuine energy exchange thrive, while those based on control, fear, or manipulation will naturally dissolve. Healing and transformation. Many people feel stuck in repetitive cycles, whether it's financial struggles, emotional trauma, or toxic relationships. The reason? They are trapped in self-reinforcing loops. Breaking negative cycles. Using awareness and intention, identify the pattern. Recognize where you are repeating the same mistakes. Trace the cause. What belief, habit, or emotion is causing this? Make a different choice. Consciously choose a new reaction or action. For example, if you keep attracting toxic relationships, analyze your beliefs about love and self-worth. If you struggle with money, analyze your attitude towards abundance and risk. When you become aware of a pattern, you take control of it. The key to transformation is understanding that you are not a victim of past causes. You are the creator of new ones.
If every action creates an effect, then you can use this law to consciously shape your reality. This section will provide practical ways to align yourself with the highest and most positive outcomes. Practical ways to master this law. Many people try to change their lives externally by seeking wealth, love, or happiness from outside sources. But the real shift happens internally first. Daily mindful actions that create positive outcomes. Start with awareness. Observe your daily choices. Ask, is this leading me toward growth or suffering? Practice gratitude. Gratitude shifts your energy field, attracting more abundance. Surround yourself with growth-oriented people. Your environment shapes your habits. Control your thoughts. Replace negative, limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Act with integrity. Your intentions behind actions determine their long-term effects. Every action compounds over time. Small mindful decisions, repeated daily, create massive shifts in destiny. The power of intentions and affirmations. Your intentions act as the cause, and your reality is the effect. This is why setting clear, conscious intentions is one of the most powerful ways to shift your karma. How setting the right intentions shifts your karma. Intentions create focus. Your mind becomes aligned with what you want. Energy follows thought. The more you focus on a goal, the more opportunities arise. Your subconscious aligns. When repeated, new beliefs rewire your reality. Try using affirmations daily. I am in control of my actions and my destiny. Every action I take brings me closer to my goals. I release negative patterns and embrace growth. Intentions combined with consistent actions create lasting effects. Letting go of regrets and past actions. One of the biggest blocks to transformation is attachment to the past. Many people live in guilt, shame, or regret, unknowingly trapping themselves in old cycles. How to break free from negative karmic cycles. Forgive yourself. Recognize that every mistake was a learning experience. Make amends. If possible, correct past wrongs, but do not let them define you. Create new causes. Focus on who you are becoming, not who you were. The past is already set in motion, but the future is still in your hands. The greatest realization about the law of cause and effect is this. Your future is not written in stone. You are creating it right now. This means that no matter where you are in life, you have the power to change everything. Final revelation. You are the creator of your reality. Life is not happening to you. It is responding to you. Every moment, you are shaping your future through thoughts, choices, and actions. If you want to change your reality, change the cause. Change your thinking, your perception shifts. Change your habits, your results shift. Change your energy, your entire life shifts. Nothing is permanent, not failure, not suffering, not limitation. The moment you decide to take conscious control, the universe responds in kind. Empowerment. Live consciously, not reactively. The key to true power is conscious living. Most people live reactively, allowing external circumstances to dictate their choices. But when you understand cause and effect, you step into proactive creation. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what cause led to this effect, and how can I create a new one? This shift in mindset turns you from a passenger into the driver of your destiny. Closing message. What will you do next? The law of cause and effect is always at work. The real question is, will you let life happen to you, or will you consciously shape it? Your past does not define you. Your present choices do. You hold the power to change your karma.